I'm Parbin Ashraf, a working mum, passionate about the North Indian cuisine I grew up around and still love to cook. The food of India is so diverse, like the landscape and the climate that have shaped it. The cooler north is known for dairy, roti, naan and aromatic masalas. Across the deserts of majestic Rajasthan are dishes inspired by royal palace cuisine. Whilst on the southerly coast, fish and coconut are popular. It's this amazing mix of cultures, faiths, cooking traditions and people that have given rise to wonderful dishes eaten all over the world.
Original butter chicken.
In this series, I'll be persuading you to spice up your cooking with my top 20 easy Indian recipes, perfect for family and friends. Best way to eat this is immediately. Across India, from busy cities to the sunny coast, we'll be meeting grandmas and mums to find out their treasured recipes. We'll also catch up with chefs and food experts celebrating all that is both traditional and fashionable. And in the UK, I'm going on my own tour to meet chefs and restaurant owners who are cooking up dishes inspired by recipes from their own Indian roots. Plus, I'll be sharing my top tips for stocking up your store cupboard, ready to cook up an Indian feast. Welcome to my Indian kitchen. In this show, I'm in the kitchen making Indian ice cream easy with my kulfi lollies. Wow. On the coast, in the bustling city of Mumbai, there's a melting pot of delicious tastes and flavours on offer, with a food tour that starts at breakfast.
So, my first breakfast bite today. Yummy.
Also, in a Mumbai home, we discover a recipe from the family repertoire, whipped up by a mum and daughter double act.
I take her recipes and I sometimes try to turn them around.
Plus, in a regenerated mill district, a fine dining restaurant with a mouth-watering 10-course menu. And I'm looking at some kitchenware you might want to have at hand in your store cupboard. This is a rolling pin. Plus, I get a chance to find out how Kolkata dishes have found their way onto a restaurant menu. But before all that, it's time for me to cook my classic Bombay potato cakes, which I serve with a chilli garlic chutney. I just love potatoes, and particularly these Bombay potato cakes. They're a firm favourite in my house, especially when my daughter was vegetarian. Great for vegetarians. I pre-boil my potatoes in salted water, and now I'm going to add my spices. So in here, what we'll need is a teaspoon of pomegranate seed powder, which adds a lovely tartness and sourness to the dish. Chilli flakes, a teaspoon of chilli flakes. I think they look beautiful, but flecks of red already looks beautiful. And coriander seed powder, in goes that. And then lastly, 2 teaspoons of cumin. You're thinking, why is she adding 2? Cumin and potatoes works amazingly well together, and I love it. Now, some red onion. I'm not going to pre-boil the onion or cook it. I want raw onion. I'm going to dice it very finely, and that adds a real crunch to the end product. And best way to slice is just take a slice off like that if you're not really good at cutting onions, and just make little cubes like that. Yeah, these are strong onions, so I know they're going to taste good. It's making my eyes water. I've got about 2 onions there. It seems a lot, but you need it for the flavour. Into the bowl. I just love that purple, beautiful colour. I'm loving the purple today, though. Grab a fork and roughly mash. I want to have some texture in the potato cake, so I don't want a smooth mash. In fact, I want a lumpy mash, so it's okay. So if you make lumpy mash, this is a recipe for you. Happy with that now? So add my peas, which I've defrosted. That, again, adds beautiful colour to the Bombay potato cakes. Season with salt, about 2 teaspoons of salt. And the last ingredient to go in is coriander. If you don't like coriander, just leave it out. But I love it, so I'll probably have to double the amount. I'm going to chop this coriander, roughly chop into the bowl straight away. Now, it smells amazing. I'm really happy with that. You've got the lovely purple of the onion, you've got the greenness of the peas and the whiteness of the potato, and they're going to make really good Bombay potato cakes. And that's about as smooth as I want it. Now, what I would do is just taste for seasoning. Okay, give that a taste now. Really happy with that. Time to form my pâtés now. Just going to dip my hands in water and just moisten my hands. And if you want to be precise, you can use a tablespoon. So you're looking at about a heap tablespoon of mixture. It's quite sticky, so that's about a heap in my hand. I'm going to form my pâtés. Now, normally I would say like a palm-sized pâté, but so I've got sort of quite small palms, so a palm size. My husband got big hands, so he makes big pâtés. So about a tablespoon. press it down gently and just use your hand and shape them. And if you can see that beautiful shape. It does take a little bit of practice. Let's make another one. So in about a tablespoon. If you have to wet your hands again, just moisten your hands and that will help you shape the potato and stop the potato sticking to your hands. Don't worry if they're not perfect, they're still going to taste amazing. It's surprising how many potato cakes you can actually get from this mixture. So this would make about between 15 and 18. I'm going to pop these into the fridge to chill while I get in with my chutney. I love using these dried Kashmiri chilies, and they are dried. I mean, look at that. They aren't the best looking chili, but add some water, give them a big drink, and look what happens. They plump up beautifully. So all of those are going to go into my chutney. Drain them. In they go. You don't have to blitz them too much. A couple of pulses, and they're done. And that's my chilies. On a medium hob, I want to add about 2 tablespoons of oil. Give it a swirl to fry off the garlic. In it goes. An inch of ginger straight into the pan, and that gives it a completely different flavour altogether. With these chilies, it adds bags of flavour. Remember, we're just having potato cake, so we need the chilli. Don't you just love that colour? Really bright, gorgeous red chilies. Give that a stir, turn it up, and then I'm going to add my tomatoes. So I've just chopped these really finely. In that goes. Also, I've skinned them. Now for the dry spices. We have enough heat in there, so no more chilli is necessary. Just a teaspoon of coriander and cumin. You need salt to season, and then some sugar to counteract all that heat. But remember, it's a chutney, so we need a bit of sugar in the chutney. I'm going to let that simmer 5 minutes and get all those flavours coming together. And what that will do is allow it to reduce down. That gives me just enough time to fry my Bombay potato cakes. Need to whisk a couple of eggs, and that will be our coating for our Bombay potato cakes. My chutney is happily sizzling away at the back. Time to get my potato cakes out of the fridge. Wow. These have set quite nicely, and now time to coat. So we're going to flour them. I need to put my heat on. On it goes. In there, we need some oil. Not too much oil, I just want to coat the bottom of the pan. We are just pan frying these. The potatoes are already cooked, so they don't need to cook too much longer. So I'm going to flour a few more. Floured, tap it off. It's a bit messy, but hey, shake off the excess oil and in the pan. You do get slightly gooey fingers. Be very careful. You've got to handle these with really tender, loving care. They're quite delicate. I'm going to wash my hands and come back and turn those over in 2 minutes. I can see that the egg's cooking underneath and they've sealed underneath already. Very gently turn them over. And got beautiful coating on those potato cakes. So they don't need too much cooking. It's just the outside. So they're cooked. They've had a couple of minutes. And it's cooked. Remember, the potato was already cooked, so it doesn't require much more cooking. Okay, here's my chutney. And what's happened now, we've reduced that liquid and it's sort of a brighter, richer colour. Last ingredient, lime juice. Zestiness really works. Good squeeze of lime. And stir that in. Lime doesn't need cooking, and I'm ready to serve that with my potato cakes. Chutney's ready, potato cakes are ready. Now be warned, they are hot. Really good. Oh, it's hot. It's really good. It's time to explore India and the thriving modern city of Mumbai. In one of the trendy old mill districts, innovative Indian food inspired by traditional ingredients is on the menu at restaurant Mask.
We're redefining a lot of questions about what Indian food is all about.
And in the kitchen, I'm making Indian ice cream kulfi into mouth-watering lollies. But first, we are on the coast, in the bustling city of Mumbai. Mumbai, formerly known as Bombay, is the most populated city in India. The greater Mumbai population is over 20 million. The city's wealth and importance grew out of the port and manufacturing. Today, it's India's commercial and financial capital. Known to be a cosmopolitan city, a melting pot of cultures have left their mark on the food. To get a taste of what the city has to offer, I've lined up a food tour with Deepa Krishnan from Mumbai Magic. She's a Bombayite in the know on where and when to eat.
We are here in my favorite market. This is the Matunga area. It's a great place to buy ingredients, but it's also a lovely place with lots of little cafes and restaurants that serve authentic South Indian food.
In the Matunga area, known for being a cultural epicenter with vibrant food markets, Deepa is headed to a local hotspot for breakfast.
So we are here at Idli House. Everybody in this area comes here for a morning fix. So the idli is a steamed dumpling that is made of rice and lentils. The batter is ground and then it's left to ferment. So these are different types of idlis that I've ordered today. This is the Mysore rava. So rava is semolina. So this has the idli batter but with semolina added to it. So just like you do wine pairings, they do chutney pairings. So what they have here is a chutney that has red chili in it. And the other thing that I've ordered, which I truly love, is koto, which this restaurant is famous for. And koto is actually idli, but it's idli that's steamed in jackfruit leaves. So you get the fragrance of the jackfruit and then you kind of dip in. I like to eat it with coconut chutney, so I'm starving. So my first breakfast bite today. Yummy, huh? This has got a little more flavor to it. It's paired with a spicier chutney because this one has red chili in it. The cuisine that we are eating right now is from the state of Karnataka, a little town called Udupi. And Udupi food is the most popular cuisine in Mumbai. People from Udupi are one of the communities that came here. They came in the 1940s or so, and their cuisine predominates all the restaurants in the city. This is a marvelous breakfast to have, and I confess that it's better than many breakfasts I have at home. It's rare to come across a place like this now.
Another popular snack to have in the morning is dosas.
Oh, the crowds never stop coming here. So as soon as he sets up, there's a whole bunch of people standing around him, and the dosa counter never stops churning out dosas. But these are soft, spongy dosas. In many restaurants, you'll see these big, crispy ones, but these are home style. People coming back asking for more chutney, more dosas. So you eat till your stomach is full.
As breakfast drifts into lunch, there's one particular eatery where the locals head, and it's not to be missed.
We are at Udupi Sri Krishna boarding. This is a local institution. It's one of those places where when you're really feeling homesick and you want to eat food like Mama used to cook, then you come here and try the thali. I've never come here and found myself without a queue. And today is the weekend, so it's particularly long queues. So here it is. Oh, it's probably the most eco-friendly way there is to eat. Traditionally, there's a lot of banana that grows in South India, and it's the easiest form of plate you can find. Originally, when it started in 1942, bachelors who came from the south of India migrated into Mumbai. This is the food that they ate that was closest to home. So what this represents for almost all the people who come here is a chance to eat food as it used to be made, many years ago. So there are all these different curries. This one is raw banana with just a garnish of grated coconut. This one is capsicum and potatoes in a coconut curry. This one is actually pumpkin and lentils, again in a coconut curry. So what you do is you take one of these lentil preparations, the 3 different styles, and you add it to the rice, and then you use the vegetables to sort of add flavor to it. Also, it's eat all you can. It's the meal that never ends. So the grand finale is yogurt, rice, and pickle. We eat this and we are in heaven. I've eaten too much. It's been great. It's perfect for Sunday afternoons when you're going to go back and just sleep it all off.
Quick and easy Indian home cooking is my goal. Whether I'm cooking for my family or throwing a dinner party, best way to start is to find and discover the delights of Indian specialist shops. As well as your pantry essentials, they often have kitchenware. It's one of my favourite aisles. Here you can find utensils to help with your cooking. This is a rolling pin, very slick, very elegant, and you need really good sort of hand control to make chapatis or puris or even poppadoms. So this is what a lot of my friends use. Me, I like a traditional rolling pin. I just use a standard rolling pin like this. Just make sure that it spins. So you have a nice round chapati. Next thing is how to cook it. Well, the chapati pan. Now these basically are frying pans without sides. And the reason they have no sides is, although it's called a chapati pan, I also use it to cook my parathas and my naans and my stuffed parathas. Slightly curved, when you've got butter sizzling on the sides, you can just slide it off onto the plate. Perfect. Chapati pans can come in all shapes and sizes these days. And I found a spice tin. I feel quite at home now. So this is perfect when you want to cook and you want all your spices in one place, so you don't have lots of jars to open. You just get freshly ground spices, decanter them, and you have one tin to open rather than lots. So it comes with a lid, and then your spices stay nice and fresh. Oh my goodness, I've not seen one of these for years to save Sancha. So I know that my mother used to make her own Bombay mix. I just unscrew this. Inside you have little discs like that. And what you do is you make a batter of gram flour, put it into the cylinder, put your shape, and then as you scroll and as you wind down with this mechanism, you get sort of spaghetti shapes of gram flour coming out, and you fry them to make your own Bombay mix. This is not an essential piece of equipment when you're doing Indian food, but it takes me right back. We're back in the city of Mumbai, home to around 13 million people. More like 20 million across the whole metropolitan area. It's big. It's a modern go-getting city, the home of Bollywood and a focus for food and culture. To get a taste of traditional home food, I've lined up two passionate cooks, Shivani Vakali Savant, who also acts and directs theatre projects, and her mother, Pallavi Vakil, to cook at Mum's apartment.
This is my mum, Pallavi Vakil, and she is the reason why I cook. She's got to be one of the best cooks I know.
With ancestral ties to the neighbouring region of Gujarat, Mum focuses on that area's food for the pop-up events she holds at home for paying guests.
And in that I've cooked totally Gujarati meals.
We in fact had a few pop-ups where it was a sit-down dinner for 6 people, 6 random people that didn't, some of them hadn't even met before, and they all came here to eat Mum's food.
Today I am going to cook makaini khichdi, which is made out of corn. It's a dish we usually have for breakfast or sometimes evening snack.
The main ingredient is sweet corn, steamed and crushed.
This is the steamed corn. Now I will put, this is clarified butter.
Ghee.
We call it ghee. Say about 2-3 spoons.
But I love cooking with ghee. I prefer using ghee to oil, definitely.
This is mustard. These are curry leaves.
Curry leafy flavor, I don't know, it's difficult to describe. If it's not there, you know it's missing. And if it's there, the food just pops.
2 green chilies.
I take her recipes and I sometimes try to turn them around. So I love cumin seeds. So when I make this, I'll end up adding cumin seeds. We're from Gujarat, so Gujaratis end up putting a little bit of sugar in everything. So when I make this, I don't do that. So it's a little different from hers.
So when the mustard splutters, it started spluttering. So now I will add the steamed corn.
Okay, Joya.
This, if I roast it for 3-4 minutes, it will catch the flavor of ghee.
The flavors are all incorporated. So the ghee has, you know, all the mustard, the curry pata, the chilies. It's all gone mixed with the corn. And since we don't need to cook it too much, we just wanted to get the flavors in. That's done. So now Mom's going to add the milk.
So milk just enough to cover this. I would find it a little difficult telling you exactly how much milk I've put or how much mustard seed to 1 teaspoon, because I cook with hand. Even salt, there is a spoon, but I'm used to, if you don't mind, I'll use my hands. So now the salt goes in.
Like many families, they have collected recipes over time. Preserving them has now become important to Shivani.
She will cook off the top of her head in terms of, you know, nothing's written down in proportions and stuff. Whereas my sister and I, no, but tell us exactly how many spoons of salt and exactly how much spice do you need. And she's like, just taste it, it'll happen. And we just sat her down and said, you know what, we've got to put all these recipes together. So we found my grandmother's books, her books, all the recipes in her head were the ones we tackled first. We said, because that's going to, you're going to forget it. So we sat down and we categorized it in like street food and Gujarati food and Western food and desserts.
So we, as we go along, we translate it. So all this we have copied in this, but I still keep these.
So this is our family essential, our Guju family essential, especially for people from Surat. Having this ginger and chili paste, it's an essential. And it goes in practically everything that is made. Mom had told me quite a funny story about this. So basically, Mom's grandmom had bad teeth back in the day, and she couldn't chew it. So then my grandmother started crushing the corn and making it. So at least in our family, that's how it started.
It's done. Now I'll put it in a serving dish.
Mom cooks by taste, and I think I've inherited that too. So we cook, and then we have to, okay, it's fine, maybe it needs a little more salt, maybe it needs a little more something.
And garnish it with grated coconut and finely chopped coriander.
The corn dish, Makki di khichdi, is a perfect centerpiece for a family and friends get together. And they're all used to judging the recipes.
I've been a guinea pig as far as my mother was concerned, and she, fantastic.
He loves this. So whenever I make this, either I have to call him or send it over.
I've had it before. Even my mom makes it. But I have to say this is better than my mom also.
She's going to kill you.
Yeah, she will kill me. But this has turned out really nice.
I'm Paveen Ashraf, and I love cooking easy Indian family dishes that anyone can make at home. Oh, it's hot. It's really good. Coming up, in an old mill district of Mumbai, a fine dining experience with 10 courses.
I'm ready.
And I'm intrigued to find out why the regional delights of Kolkata are gracing a London menu.
Oh, look at that.
But first, I'm back in the kitchen making a delicious sweet treat, kulfi lollies. I've got such a sweet tooth. So much so, when I go out to eat, the first thing I do is check out the dessert menu before I order my mains. So I'm treating myself to homemade kulfi. Kulfi is Indian ice cream. Traditionally, kulfi takes hours and hours to make. I don't have hours and hours, so I found a really good shortcut using condensed milk. I'm going to whisk my cream and then flavour my kulfi with some really aromatic spices. Put that to one side. Time to get on with the kulfi. Condensed milk, that's the key ingredient. A really good shortcut. Whole tin goes in. Beautiful. Condensed milk is really popular in India and the Punjab and using a lot of the desserts. In there, I need some flavours. Cardamom is really popular in desserts. I'm going to put half a teaspoon of cardamom powder. And I think cardamom powder has a richer, more intense flavour than cardamom pods. Then some rose water. I use it in so many of my desserts. I also use it to cleanse my face. And then some saffron. Comes like this when it's dry. And then you just rehydrate it in water and you get that beautiful golden colour straight in. Just going to give that a stir. That already looks beautiful. This is a shortcut. It takes minutes. That's it. You can really smell that cardamom. Now, all I have to do is fold in the cream. Add it all into the bowl and gently fold. I don't want to knock out all the air that I put into that cream. Just be quite gentle with it and stir in. It just looks so beautiful and just smells amazing with those aromatic spices. The consistency you're going for is like a thick, custard-like consistency. So that's the base of my kulfi. So I'm making 2 different flavours. I'm going to roughly divide my ingredients into this bowl, sort of about half. Perfect. And then I'm going to have to lick the side of the bowl. Oh, it tastes so good. Half of it with pistachio, straight in. And with the pistachio, you get a crunch as well. And just fold that in. Easy. That's pistachio kulfi. And the flecks of green and the orange just look so good. Perfect. Second one, mango. Just using some mango pulp. This is such a good shortcut. And that's going to change into a beautiful orange colour. So these are the 2 most popular flavours, mango kulfi and pistachio kulfi. So I thought, why not? Make both. Now here comes the tricky bit. I'm going to make kulfi ice lollies. So, got my moulds. I'm going to just brush them with a tiny bit of oil in there, and that will just help ease out the kulfi after it's been frozen. Down to the bottom. Just use your brush and just get in there. Just using some plain vegetable oil. 4 pistachio and 4 mango. Now the problem is, we're a family of 5. There's going to be some kulfi fights. I'm going to use a jug and just pour it into the moulds gently. And fill up to almost the top, but very therapeutic. That's the mango done, and now the pistachio kulfi. And once you've mastered the technique of making the kulfi and you've made mango and pistachio, you can maybe diversify. Sometimes maybe just a plain rose water. Sometimes I make a plain almond one. Whatever the flavour, I promise you, it's going to taste good. And that's my last pistachio one done. Just put the tops on, make sure they're firmly sealed. Well, that didn't take hours, did it? Now all I have to do is put them in the freezer overnight to set. Fingers crossed they're nicely frozen and ready to try. Wow, that's my mango kulfi ready. I wonder what the pistachio one tastes like. Love pistachios. Oh my goodness. That's amazing. You can taste the creaminess, the pistachio, and this is my favourite. Definitely going to make this again. We're back in India. The great thing about a busy, bustling, modern powerhouse like the city of Mumbai is that it offers a vibrant food culture with lots to try, from traditional street food to an innovative restaurant scene. When it comes to fine dining, Marsk is one of the most fashionable places in the city. The chef and co-owner is Pratik Savek.
I would call it a wilderness-to-table restaurant where the focus is seasonality. We're redefining a lot of questions about what Indian food is all about.
Set in one of the trendy old mill districts in a former factory unit, this hidden gem opened in 2016. They are known for their innovative modern Indian food, presented as a 10-course tasting menu.
There are 10 different courses which arrive on the table. Every course is very distinct, it's very defined. Every day we're experimenting, every day we're thinking, every day we're really distilling the cuisine to the T.
Their focus on traditional food shown in a new light has led to many accolades.
Everyone works really hard in our industry, so awards are always important. They give you motivation and they encourage you to do better. I grew up eating really traditional Kashmiri food. So I think that has really stuck to me till date, and you can see those influences right now in the cooking as well. What we're doing is we're doing a pancake. It's a rice pancake with the kalari cheese. So kalari is a native cheese from Kashmir. Growing up, we used to eat a lot of kalari with the local bread and whatever chutneys you had at home. Not many Indians know about this cheese. Imagine eating a mozzarella, but with goat's milk. It's a pretty simple batter, actually. It's 100% rice flour, a little bit of chili powder, onions, and simple salt, some chopped chilies as well. So we use ghee as our medium of cooking. So it's very important that we have a really hot pan. That's the sound. For us at Mask, I think it was very important to give diners a sense of taste. Also, it gives us an opportunity to really showcase what India is all about. We have 3 sauces. One is a mint-based sauce. This is tamarind-based chutney. And this is one which is with Kashmiri walnuts. I'm going to start cooking the cheese. The key is to have like really hot pan. Once like nice and soft, you can see while you're pressing it. That's the time you know it's ready. So we'll dress these greens slightly with the dressing, just like vinegar, lime, salt, and pepper. We don't have many menus in the restaurant, so that's the first shock. We want a surprise element, you know.
Being on the coast, fish is popular to eat in Mumbai.
So what we have is mackerel, which we get from off the Gujarat coast. We have greens from our farm, and then we have buckwheat toast. So this sauce is fresh mackerel meat, garlic, dried chilies, lime, and a bit of salt. A very old technique of cooking food in banana leaf. It kind of protects the skin, protects the meat, so it keeps it intact as well. So we'll shut it, and in the meantime, while it's cooking, we'll start toasting the buckwheat toast as well. Bit of butter. So for this toast, it's very important to make it nice and crispy. Buckwheat is also a very Indian grain as well. Fish is almost ready. So what we're doing here is we're spreading this toast with a sauce of egg yolks, a little bit of the sauce that we put on the mackerel. So these are the greens from our farm, but we're dressing it with marigold and mustard vinaigrette. So it does taste like very nice and floury. So the idea was to showcase grains from Ladakh, local fish from Gujarat, greens from the farm. So everything in like 3 bites. 3 bites is everything which is all about India.
Along with no menus, the other surprise diners might find is that their first course is served in the kitchen.
So what we have here today is our own version of pani puri.
This is going to be really good.
Yes.
Awesome. That was the best pani puri we've had yet.
Definitely.
We've eaten a lot of pani puri.
So at Mask, ultimately, it is or a tradition or a technique or something which is cooked at home into a black box, and what arrives at the end is in a very like a different form.
Indian food is still a British favourite when eating out. It's a country with a vast culinary heritage, and each region has contributed distinct dishes and flavours to their cuisine. My recipes are inspired from the North Punjab region, and as part of my journey, I'm interested to discover how the food of other regions differs and is finding its way onto restaurant tables. The new emerging generation of chefs are looking beyond the whole curry house style of food. They're bringing to the table spicy, mouth-watering dishes with a regional influence, often inspired by their mothers and grandmothers, and then adding their own modern twist. In London's Covent Garden is Little Kolkata, which owners Biswajit Devdas and Prabir Chattopadhyay refer to as a Bengali canteen. They are from Kolkata and first came here as students. Their dishes are influenced by the food they missed from home. Once known as Calcutta, the former capital of British India, Kolkata sits in the region of Bengal. As a large river port, it has a rich history around a lively merchant trade and the rivers, which have both influenced the cuisine. Bengali canteen food. It says here it's tapa style, so you can have a little bit of something that you fancy. Also have a kachori, which is usually rice and lentils together, but they've got a twist on it. They're serving it with tapioca poppadoms. That's going to be interesting because I do love a poppadom. And my favourite line in the whole menu is cooked from the heart, served with love. Prabir has selected some dishes to show me. Wow. I must say, Prabir, everything looks so colourful, but that, to me, is a work of art.
Thank you, thank you.
Beautiful.
So this is the kind of food I have grown up eating.
Wow.
And
Look
this
at
is
you.
this
Look at you.
and this is what you have on the table.
Calcutta's where you're from.
Yeah.
But some of these look quite fusiony and modern and a tapas style.
Yes, the concept is a tapas style because personally I believe every dish has its own tale to tell. What we have here is a goat curry. Now, for my family,
yeah,
my grandmother or even my mother, we would cook that on a Sunday. A bit like the
Sunday
British
roast.
Yes, exactly. The one over here, it's inspired by street food.
Yeah.
The one next to that, it's a classic khichdi.
Khichdi.
Yeah. And the type of khichdi that we have here is what we in Calcutta we would cook for some of our festivals.
A festival.
Yeah.
But what's that made from?
That's
Is that
a
disc?
poppadom.
Wow.
Made
really?
out of tapioca poppadom. Yeah, tapioca roots. My grandfather,
yeah,
he was a head priest of a 15th century temple, and that dish, the khichdi, is something that comes from that temple.
Are you allowed to tell me the recipe?
Well, maybe a little bit. I can share it with you just because it's you.
Between you.
Yeah,
Okay,
just
then.
between you and me.
Okay, let's get cooking.
Why not? So this is Bishuji.
Bishuji, nice to meet you.
So he's cooking the khichdi.
Bishu, so what do we have in our pan here?
What I did is just I put the mustard oil here and we fried the lentil.
You're frying the lentils?
Yes.
The moong dal.
What was the purpose of frying the lentils?
Well, basically you just need to get the aroma of the fried of the lentil.
It locks the flavors basically for the
We're
moong dal.
toasting lentils.
Yeah. Next step is I'm gonna boil this fried lentil into boil hot water. You can see it's almost ready. So
tomato, just a fresh tomato to go in.
And green chilies. So I'm gonna put 1.5 green chili.
1.5, okay.
Turmeric.
Turmeric.
Yeah.
Turmeric. And it gives it a beautiful colour, does it?
Yeah. I'm gonna let it boil in parallel so while I'm gonna make the khichdi.
And what I'm noticing is the beautiful yellow colour coming from the turmeric.
Put mustard oil first.
Yep.
This is Panch Foron. This is, we call it Bengali 5 spices.
There's 5 spices. I can see mustard. And is that fennel?
Fennel, cumin seeds.
Black cumin seeds, and normal cumin seeds. When you fennel break, I can see. Fresh garam masala. So this.
Yeah. Cloves, chilies, cinnamon, and cardamom.
Yeah. And
whole spices.
Yeah.
Oh, shall I stand back? Are we going to sizzle?
Fresh vegetables.
Potatoes in a khichdi.
Khichdi, yeah.
Now that's going to sizzle, isn't it? Here it goes. So that's unusual for me to see potatoes in a khichdi and cauliflower.
Cauliflower, yes. Normally we do potato and cauliflower and then beans.
The idea is you will still get the vegetables whole in your khichdi.
Chopped ginger.
Quite a lot of vegetables in here.
Yeah. Turmeric. And pinch of half teaspoon of salt. And now you can see the vegetables, all of them are semi-fried.
This is the lovely golden colour that the cauliflower.
Soak rice with water.
So did you wash?
Yeah, I
washed
washed
it and
them,
soaked it.
soaked it with the water. I don't fry it that much, but it
just give it a bit of a toss with the vegetables.
Yeah.
And off it goes.
A little bit of water.
And cold water. We're not boiling it. Not
No,
just cold.
cold water. Yeah. You also remember that I'm gonna put this lentil, boiled lentil too, so that's gonna add more water into it.
Yeah. Half cooked, and then it's
half
going to
cooked,
come together
yeah.
and
come
cook
together.
fully.
We can add garam masala and ghee right now.
Okay.
And the secret ingredient, plenty of love.
Oh, yeah, plenty of love.
Okay, so I'm gonna put a pinch of garam masala.
I can smell quite a lot of cinnamon in there and star anise.
Ghee, just a little bit.
Oh, actually, that is a little bit. Yeah.
Little bit of water.
Reminds me a bit of a risotto.
It's a bit like that with lentils, rice, and plenty of seasonal veg. And of course, a bit of spices that go in every Indian cooking.
Last ingredients, what I normally do is the green peas.
Whilst that's sort of finishing off, what we're going to do is quickly make those papadums that you really were intrigued with upstairs.
That's tiny, but it looks dehydrated.
Wait till you see it goes to the oil.
Comes to... I'm ready.
Okay, it's not...
Oh, look at that. Oh, my goodness. It's like tripled in size.
Yeah.
That was brilliant. Can I do one? Can I just do
yeah,
it?
go ahead.
So just hold it.
Yeah.
Yeah, I mean, this is something, as I said, we've grown eating this. So.
Shake it.
Yeah.
Shake it.
Oh, look at... Did you see that? It's like magic. Sorry, I'm so excitable because I've never seen... That is amazing. And so pretty as well. Well, this is the best part of the recipe. The tasting part.
The tasting part.
So I've got the spoons.
I've got the plate.
Yeah.
With the bowl.
Yeah, and somebody get the papadums, please.
I've got it.
Thank you.
We would normally have the quichuri with some kind of fried stuff, but over here, we're serving it with papadums.
What I do normally is
Yeah.
I'm going to put it here
Oh,
for the
sizzle.
dressing, sizzle, and this.
Oh, look at that.
You want to try?
Absolutely. Okay. And the kitchery. Crunch and comfort. You know what I can taste, Chef? Just a tiny bit of the ghee flavour just around my mouth at the end.
Yes. And basically the homemade garam masala, which I said, with love.
Yeah.
That also added kind of a flavor.
Definitely one that I'm going to be trying.
Oh, thank you.
Cheers. Thank you for having me.
Thanks a lot. It's a pleasure.
I grew up around great Indian cooking, but there always seems to be something new to learn. Whether it's holding on to traditional methods or bursting forward into the next era with high-end delights, Indian cuisine is ready to be explored beyond rice and curry. That's why I'm passionate about the easy dishes of mine I hope you try. At the end of the day, there's nothing like spicing up life with some mouth-watering home-cooked Indian food for family and friends. Next week on My Indian Kitchen, I'm making a crispy okra snack to serve with mango lassi. That's delicious. In bustling Mumbai, great food stories, including possibly the largest thali in town. Plus, street food classics popular with the locals.